sparkling ice palace, a new venue for an old feud. And tonight it will be rocking for Arena Football's most intense rivalry. Defending champion Tampa Bay determined to retain their crown. Orlando with title hopes of their own. Pulling their trigger, the league's best two-way player, Barry Wagner. The Storm counters with the most prolific return man in arena history, George LaFrance. Tonight, another chapter. Tampa Bay versus Orlando. The Predators flying through storm clouds, ready to get it on. The Ice Palace, home of the Tampa Bay Storm, winner of 4 of the last 6 Arena Bowl championships. And this place in just a few moments will become a madhouse as they get set to take on their bitter rival, the Orlando Predators, in a game full of great matchups. This perhaps the best. 2 of the best two-way players in the league on the left, Tampa Bay's Stevie Thomas. On the right, Orlando's incomparable Barry Wagner doing their best impersonation of Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, too. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle along with Mike Golick. Glad you could join us for what should be a special game. You know, these two teams have the league's most experienced players. And, Mike, it's interesting, though, that their 2 quarterbacks are going to get their first taste of this intense rivalry. Let's start with Orlando's.
In Orlando, that would be Scott Sempson-Felter getting the start over the injured Pat O'Hara. He's going to make his first significant pass since 1993, his senior year at Lehigh. A very heady quarterback who can move, and he'll have to tonight against a strong Tampa Bay rush.
Now, we've talked about the great Barry Wagner, but Scott's going to have to get him the ball tonight because this year so far, Barry's had substandard numbers by his standards.
He has, but still a 5-time consecutive Ironman, a winner, which is given annually to the league's best two-way player. Big players have got to step it up in big games, especially with a backup quarterback.
Tampa Bay's biggest chore this offseason was to replace their quarterback, Jay Gruden, who graduated to the coaching ranks. He's now the offensive coordinator for the Nashville Cats. In his place, former Chicago Bear, Peter Tom Willis, and they haven't missed a beat with him at quarterback.
No, they haven't. This guy has the experience. 4 years with the Chicago Bears. Came right in, took control. Here led him to a 2-0 start, 450 yards passing, 60% completion rate, and 8 touchdowns. This guy knows how to get it done.
And so the stage is set for what should be an interesting game, to say the least. Every time these teams get together, something happens. To look at the 7th-year coach of the Orlando Predators, the only head coach and general manager the franchise has ever known. Perry Moss, second on the all-time career list as far as victories are concerned, to this man, Tim Markham, in his 8th season as head coach for the Tampa Bay Storm. 85 career wins, 68 in regular season. Head-to-head, Tampa Bay leads the series 8-7, although they have won the last 2 if you count the preseason game that was held earlier in April, and they tell me that one was very much like the regular season, even though some key players were missing.
Yeah, the only thing about the preseason, it doesn't count. Other than that, the rivalry is here.
Back deep for the Tampa Bay Storm, who have won the toss. George LaFrance, the most prolific return man in arena football history, kicking off for Orlando. Franco Grilla, who was just added to the roster this week. Second-year man out of Central Florida. And again, in arena football, teams kick off from their own goal line during this war on the 50-yard floor. Off the net, LaFrance fielded. Getting outside his 10-yard line, out of bounds at about the 13. Markham also serving as his own offensive coordinator. 2 games this season. He's off to a fantastic start. 8 touchdowns, just 2 picks. Ball put in play at their own 10.
Go!
LaFrance in motion right. Willis across the middle, picked off by guess who? Barry Wagner.
That's a good way to quiet the crowd right off the bat. We just said only 2 interceptions and 8 touchdowns for Peter Tom here, right over the middle. Barry Wagner in the box playing that zone coverage. Peter Tom either didn't see him or tried to throw over the top of him. Barry Wagner, 6'3", and can jump. He's tough to go over the top.
Michael, it took all of 45 seconds for Barry Wagner to display the kind of dominant player he is. Grilla to attempt the extra point. And it bounces off the right upright. That is what cost Orlando a game a week ago against Arizona. But they do lead 6-0 early on here at the Ice Palace. We'll be back with more Orlando, Tampa Bay after this timeout.
Hi,
Orlando has taken the early 6-0 lead.
Well, that missed extra point cost Charlie Bauman, who was the kicker of the Predators last week, missed that extra point in a 1-point loss to Arizona. Charlie Bauman, though, one of the reasons considered he was gone missing tackles, but I'm sure missing an extra point in the last second doesn't help your cause. So Franco Grilla gets the chores tonight.
This one high. Caraming off the rebound net. George LaFrance fields it. Here's the missed extra point by Grilla.
Pushes it wide. Just hits the upright, which are only 9 feet across as opposed to 18 in regulation. That's why the ball usually would be starting on the 5. Now you see it on the 13-yard line.
Succeeding spot.
Go!
Peter Tom Willis has to roll to his right. This time he goes across the middle, and instead of Wagner, he finds the right man. I think George LaFrance was the at the 21. LaFrance, motion left. Willis had Flint Fleming over it momentarily. Chris Barber on the stop, I should say, at their Orlando 21. Willis running the fade route. Barber on the coverage.
And every official, 2 penalties, they offset. We go to 2nd down and 10 again. Basically no harm, no foul. Let's do it over again.
Ball still at the 21. LaFrance in motion left. Tony Jones, the lone setback. Willis this time going for LaFrance. We've got pass interference. Home here in Tampa Bay. The pitch to Tony Jones around the left side. And by arena football standards, very good. In the first quarter, 2nd and 6 at the Orlando 9. Willis's time is flushed out of the pocket. Throws that one away. And 6. Can't handle a snap from center. And it'll be 4th down for Tampa Bay. Peter Tom Willis the game ball because of his 4-touchdown performance. And Tim Markham didn't mind a bit.
Did not fight it.
Terry Belden attempting a field goal from 26 yards away. It is up. It is good. So the Storm storms back. They have cut the Predator lead to 3. Back with more arena football.
For years.
And from his own goal line, but from the right sideline practically. Jeff Parker, Wagner, and now Wagner in motion right, and he gets the pitch. One of the things that Tampa Bay coach Tim Markham told us, Felter, tonight. Under heavy pressure, that one overthrown. Intended receiver Alex Shell. Swing to Michael McClinton. Zones in arena football, 8 yards deep. This one being spotted at Orlando's 8. 42 yards away. Add the 8, you've got 50 yards. No rush for Grilla. And that one is wide to the left. George LaFrance retrieving it. And another flag. Webby Burnett, Tampa Bay. This time, no freeze motion on the part of Stevie Thomas, but another pick. This time, Corus Urban, the culprit. Irvin, the defensive specialist from Central Florida. Tampa Bay waived him a year ago, halfway through the season, and he automatically became, almost immediately I should say, became a starter for Orlando. And for the second time tonight, another defensive touchdown for the Predators.
Now this was miscommunication between Stevie Thomas and Peter Tom Willis. Corus Irvin right there to take care of the mistake. Steve Thomas stopped like it was an out route and then did an up, like an out and up. Peter Tom thought he was stopping at the out and threw it. Corus Irvin right there. What a great way to help out your new starting quarterback. Semptimphelter scored twice on defense.
Grilla to attempt the extra point. Snap is high, but the kick is good. So surprisingly, the Orlando Predators, after this interception for a touchdown by Corus Irvin, they lead 13-3. Lawrence Samuels was open along the right sideline, but he caught the ball out of bounds. Chris Barber on the coverage for Orlando.
He did catch the ball, but Chris Barber put him on top of the wall.
Wide to the left. Stevie Thomas in motion. Lawrence Samuels with a little curl route, good for about 9 yards after the second effort. Again, Chris Barber right there, but not after. 2 return for touchdowns. The give inside to Bless Barley. Willis looking back across the field. Willis. Pressure almost immediately forced him to get out of the pocket, and then Alex Shell hurried his throw. 60 double post. You're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Absolutely. Well, you know, that's a call on 2nd and 1. It's almost like a play to waste so you can throw it deep. Here you're going to see Peter Tom, no time to throw. The middle taken away from him. He rolls. Here comes Alex Shell. They're just putting all kind of pressure on him, not letting him plant and throw. He's always throwing off his back foot or back across the field as he did there. Not going to work that way. You better go with some short patterns, get a little confidence built. Yo.
Barley again, he's got the first down. Get underway here in the Ice Palace in Tampa, Florida. The home Storm, however, trailing the Predators 13-3. And let's go back to 1993. One of the most wild touchdowns ever in this great series. It resulted in a Tampa Bay touchdown with them trailing late in the game as it bounced off the rebound net. 55-52, and it sent the Storm to the Arena Bowl. Back to present tense. 19. Tracy Perkins in motion. Willis to throw, and coming from the backside. Oh, yeah. Eric Drakes. 2nd and 15. Willis looking backside. That's Stevie Thomas. He was the game MVP a week ago with it as a 11 reception, 3 touchdown game versus Florida. And we've got a little altercation on the sideline. Hey, this is Tampa Bay Orlando. It's the rivalry.
We also have a penalty back in the Tampa Bay backfield. So the flags are flying.
Stevie Thomas, motion right, the pitch. Looked like he was going to throw there for a second and lost the football. Paul McGowan, number 44, one of the men on top of it. But Chris Barber gets it, taking some heat off of their young quarterback, Semptimphelter. Go! Hut, hut. The pitch. Sylvester, 2nd down and 5 for the Predators. Flags on the play. Semptimphelter under a great deal of pressure. Tight end Victor Hall, the receiver, out past the 10, but again, flags on the play. Stevie Thomas on the stop now defensively for Tampa Bay. 20 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Predator lead by 10. Semptimphelter going long. He's got Wagner wide open. His first arena touchdown pass. 36 yards. Semptimphelter to Barry Wagner.
Coverage by Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris is going to be on Barry Wagner all day. They played once before, and Johnny Harris did a number on Barry Wagner, holding him to 3 receptions. So he will be manned up on Barry all day. Here, Johnny Harris just turned one way. Barry Wagner turned the other. Scott Semptimphelter put the ball right where it had to be. Easy touchdown. Good confidence builder for the youngster, getting his first start. Got a little altercation going on as they're lining up for the extra point. You got to get that blood flowing. That's a beautiful.
Grilla attempting Orlando's 20th point of the evening. Lebo with the hold. It is true through the 9 feet wide goalposts. And here early in the second quarter, the story has been Tampa Bay turnovers. They trail by 17. In motion, he's going deep to Stevie Thomas. Another pick. Yes, Chris Barber. Chris to boxing. Staying power is the name of the game in arena football as far as franchises are concerned. The most successful are the longest lasting. As we look at Albany, they've been in the league since 1990, and then these two teams in 91. Semptimphelter for the Predators. Got Wagner again. Touchdown. Johnny Harris, the defender on the play, and beaten again.
The second time he's been beaten. We talked at the top of the show how Barry Wagner is going to have a big game to help out Scott Semptimphelter. The first time he gets to start here, just a crossing route. Scott Semptimphelter with a nice throw. Gets it up, gets 1 foot in. That's all you need in Arena League. And it's a touchdown. That's got to be happy. Happy times.
Franco Grilla.
He's just going to keep making saying his name, isn't he? Semptimphelter.
I feel like Sergeant Schultz and Hogan's Heroes. Semptimphelter. Grilla's kick is good. 27-3. Orlando leading the Storm, and the star of the game, no doubt about it, Barry Wagner, his 3rd touchdown of the evening. 3 interceptions. That's called catching it on the brink. Willis flushed out of the pocket again. Oh! Nearly had his receiver. Walter Sutton. Walter Sutton, motion. Willis rolling right, and now a back across his body. Toughest ball a quarterback can ever hope to throw. Tampa Bay on 4th and 11. And a need of some kind of momentum changer. That's not what they were looking for. LaFrance in motion right. Willis looking, and this one's overthrown, and again, McGowan in his face. Victor Hall in his face. Peter Tom on his...
Well, we're seeing the flags again. We saw...
Willis to throw. They've got it, LaFrance in the end zone, touchdown. So sure that they can run some form of pick play there, Michael.
Yeah, that was also another case where Orlando went to some zone coverage, and they ended up, Tampa Bay did, well, have 2 receivers. You see Barber dropping off number 5 to the right of your screen in the end zone. They'll end up with 2 receivers and only 1 defender. Either a breakdown in the Orlando defense, or as you say, maybe just a bit of a pick.
So the long touchdown drought is over. The extra point by Terry Belden is good. So after all kinds of mistakes, 3 turnovers, Tampa Bay finally gets their first touchdown of the night. 56 seconds remaining here in the first half. Orlando leads by 17. The Predators trying for another score here. Before going into the locker room, Wagner trying for the one-handed catch, working against Johnny Harris. Like we talked about, what kind of game Wagner had. Wagner with the motion. There he is, wide open across the middle. I thought Tracy Perkins break and then join you at halftime.
Just
Jeff Parker in motion. Felter got Wagner open. Touchdown, Orlando. Johnny Harris once again the picked on DB. Tim Markham well on his way to becoming not just the Iron Man but the MVP of this game. Barry Wagner, his 4th touchdown of the evening. The extra point by Franco Gria is good, and so the Predators start where they left off at the end of the first half, 34-10 in the third. Them to being on the tail end of these kind of scores. He does make the reception there for the first down. 9:35 remaining here in the third quarter. Orlando leading Tampa Bay 34-10. The Storm desperately trying to get back in this thing. Willis again across his body, looking for his receiver, broken up by Barry Wagner. Willis to Walter Sutton. Inside in motion, and Tom Willis trips on the artificial surface. Tom Willis has got LaFrance out of bounds onto the back of the end zone.
By the crew down the truck, great replay on that.
Willis going forward again. Almost has to. Corus Irvell. Predators lead by 24.
Have you ever...
Walter Sutton in motion. LaFrance. Tom Willis will not be able to find anybody if he is going to throw from the seat of his pants. Paul McGowan, the Orlando linebacker. Felter across the middle. Barry Wagner, he's got another one if he can power his way in. He does. Barry Wagner, he has had so many great nights in his arena career. This will rank with one of the best. A 25-yard touchdown reception, his 5th score of the evening. 4 on pass receptions, 1 via the interception.
You see a guy named Jerry Rice run a lot of these routes. Little in routes, throw the ball to him quick and let him run. Johnny Harris was right on it, poor tackling. All he did was throw his shoulder in to try and knock Barry Wagner down instead of wrapping him up. Barry Wagner keeps running and scores. Poor tackling on Johnny Harris's part.
Franco Gria was going to attempt the extra point, but the snap was high by Webby Burnett. Grilla seeing his life pass before his eyes, and Alex Shell getting into it with about 4 or 5 members of the Tampa Bay Storm.
I'll tell you, good for Alex Shell. They went and tried to take out their frustrations a little bit. Tampa Bay did on their kicker. They really drove Grilla into the ground. Alex Shell came over, took exception with it, and I don't blame him. Just stick up for your teammates. I don't blame him a bit. There's Barry Wagner, livid.
It's like the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat. Brad Lebo, the holder, never had a chance, and Franco Gria doing his impersonation of Garo Yepremian. Orlando still in control, 40-10. Orlando, Tampa Bay, the rivalry, and let's go back to 1994, the playoffs. The Orlando Predators on the doorstep of a perfect season until Mike Lizecki's field goal ruins it. That put Tampa Bay up 40-39, and this last second breakup by Eddie Brown, now with New York, sealed the victory for the Tampa Bay Storm. But that was yesterday. 4 turnovers. That was Eric Drakes of Orlando off a little early. Or whenever they go back to practice. Hey, how about that? Peter Tom Willis in stride to Stevie Thomas.
When they're on, they can look good. Unfortunately, they have.
Terry Belden with the extra point attempt. And it's good. So a night of frustration, at least for the moment, relieved as Tampa Bay finally scores to cut their lead to 40-17.
Well,
dive right. Oh, Michael McClinton back against the grain. This is a long run deep into Tampa Bay territory inside the 10-yard line before Johnny Harris, who is getting worn out tonight. The give again to McClinton. He bounces outside. Parker, busted play.
Got to get that ball up in the air. Got to be more true than it would be in the NFL.
This one from 22 yards out by Franco Grilla. It's good. Orlando can do no wrong. They score on the ground, through the air, through interceptions, and via the field goal. They have opened up a 43-17 lead on Tampa Bay. Coming up the final 8 minutes. When coming Willie Wyatt and Terry Buford, also Wells, Bembry, and Rowland. They're just not getting the job done tonight. Predators have been really controlling everything in the trenches. Back is completely turned toward the quarterback, has no idea where the ball is, and then at the last second, he flicks that hand out. Okay, Willis flicks his right arm and finds a receiver. Got him again, and now it's really getting. Another, some kind of confusion in the play. Oh, Willis in trouble again. Jerry Sharp. That's that offensive lineman from Syracuse who's turned into a whale of a defensive lineman for Orlando, and countless number of hurries. Willis going deep, throwing it into double coverage. Barber's there, of course. Irvin is there.
Time with Alex Shell. Septenfelter threw the quick out. Alex Shell ran up the field on an out and up. Could have been disastrous with an interception, but falls incomplete as it goes to 3rd down.
You know what was interesting about the decision to start Scott from our ESPN2? Another good game, or at least on paper anyway. 2 outstanding high explosive offenses. Iowa Barnstormers, Kurt Warner, their MVB quarterback, and Albany with Eddie Brown. Oh, he's got another pick too. Peter Tom Willis being buried by Samuel Hairston, a guy they just put on the roster yesterday, a rookie from North Carolina A&T. Barry Wagner, the night belongs to him. 2 interceptions, 5 touchdowns. What can he do for an encore?
Second interception. Look at that. 5 receptions, 2 interceptions, 5 touchdowns. That last interception, Samuel Harrison, got to give him the credit for that all over. Peter Tom Willis made him underthrow the ball to Barry Wagner.
Orlando content to run out the remaining 32 seconds of this contest.
You know, Barry Wagner felt they probably had something to prove tonight. Last week, played very well defensively, but offensively had quite a few drops, and I'm sure wanted to redeem himself for the week he had last week in their loss. Boy, he has, and then some tonight.
Barry Wagner, another in a long line of great nights he has had in the Arena Football League. So the long-time series, the rivalry, continues tonight. Tonight belongs to Orlando. The series now even at 8 wins apiece. The Predators win big time here in the Ice Palace in Tampa Bay. The final score, 43-17, 5 touchdowns for a 5-time Ironman winner, Barry Wagner. Coming up next on ESPN2, the NHL tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Mike Golick, I'm Mike Adamle. So long from Tampa Bay. We'll see you next Saturday night.